What is going down, my YouTube family? We are back, and we are going to talk about that guy. Nope, there, maybe. Right there. Arno. Arno, the newest goblin defender, the newest Battle Pass character. So we're going to talk about him. We're going to get into his stats, move kits, breakdown, what I think of the character, etc., etc., etc. Let's get into it. All right, so we're starting like we always do, stats. And this guy has a lot of good stats. Let's start there. Speed, 66th in the game, 103. There's only two people in the game slower than Arno. Both tanks, Salvador and Mega Wheel maybe? Or Adam, one of the two. And tanks are relatively slow, but this is even slow for a tank. So we got to keep that in mind. Health, first in the game, 41,008. Crazy. Shield, ninth in the game, 30,441. Health and shield combination, no shock, first in the game, 71,449. Arno does do physical damage, 36th in the game, 2562. Not actually too shabby for a defender tank. Physical armor, 6th in the game, 39.28. Magic armor, 29th in the game, middle of the road, 33.85. Critical chance, 50th in the game, 20.07. If you're going to run him with a General Murdoch lead, that will be kind of a negative. We'll keep that in mind as we go. Potency, tied for 22nd in the game with 35. Tenacity, tied for 5th in the game with 35. So what are my stat takeaways for Arno? I mean, what a tank. 71k at gear 11. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. He is slow. Very slow. Even for a defender, he is slow. Magic armor needs some improvement because he could get shredded by magic armor. And his potency is actually pretty good, so we're going to have to see if that plays into his move kit. So here we are back in the game. We're going to break down his move kit, starting with his first ability, Piercing Projectile. Deals 260 physical damage to an enemy. If the target's health is below 50%, half the damage from... Did I say below? It should be above 50%. I am nailing this video. Half the damage to this attack penetrates their shield. A 60% chance to apply accuracy increase to himself and all allied goblin rangers for one turn, if this ability deals damage. Alright, so there's a lot of crap going on in this. We have 260 physical damage. If the target is above 50% health, you're going to take away shield. Then there's a 60% chance to apply an accuracy increase to himself and all allied goblin rangers for one turn, if the ability does damage. So the applying of the accuracy is a buff applied, so there's no potency tenacity check. None of that goes into it. Goblin rangers. Who are we looking at in goblin rangers? So here are the rangers in the game. We have Major Shot, and we have Sergeant Pigwald. Keep that in mind as we go. Second ability, Demolition Salvo. Shoots 4 rockets at enemies, each dealing 160 physical damage. Each subsequent rocket has the same target, has an 80% chance to inflict heal block for 2 turns. So that's where potency comes in. The 160 physical damage is really low, so you're not looking for it to do damage. You're really just looking for it to heal block. So, in all honesty, the cooldown of 4 is rough. You only get to use it maybe once or twice. It's kind of an underwhelming move, but that's besides the point. Putting heal block on is awesome, but 80% chance, so you have the 2 potency tenacity checks, so it's going to do the roll to see if it's applied. If it passes that roll, then it's going to do the potency tenacity check, but he does have pretty good potency, so that is a plus. Ability 3, Risk Your Neck. Gains taunt for 2 turns. He recovers 5% health for each living goblin in the party. Inflicts an armor decrease for 2 turns to enemies with heal block. So that is a debuff applied still, so it is a potency tenacity check. It's not guaranteed. Sergeant Pigwald recovers 5% of his turn meter for each living goblin in the party if he's on the battlefield. So, getting taunt, you're recovering health, 5%, which he has the first biggest health pool in the game, so that is huge. Then he inflicts an armor decrease for 2 turns to enemies with heal block, potency tenacity. Sergeant Pigwald recovers 5% turn meter, so if you're running a full goblin party, 25% turn meter when he taunts, right? And we're seeing the Sergeant Pigwald synergy again. His move 1, potency increase, accuracy increase to rangers. So that's Pigwald and shot. So we're seeing the double synergy with Pigwald. Passive ability, teamwork. If there is more than 1 goblin in the party, Arno sacrifices 20% of his current health at the start of his turn to give all allied goblins a shield equal to 40% of the sacrificed health. Healing received by Arno gives all allied goblins a shield equal to 30% of the health healed. When the battle starts, Arno and all goblin rangers receive haste for 2 turns. Okay, again, there is so much going on here. So, if there is more than 1 goblin in the party, Arno sacrifices 20% of his current health at the start of the turn to give all allied goblins a shield equal to 40% of his sacrificed health. So Arno goes. He takes off 20% of his health, and he gives it to all the goblins in the party at 40% of his health sacrifice. So we're seeing you want that health pool to be huge. Then, on top of that, healing that is received by Arno, right? So that goes back to his risk your neck, right? Where he recovers 5% of his health. So you're going to restore his shield. Pretty nice, right? We're giving that healing back and more shield of the health healed. When the battle starts, so say you have Thanisa, right? I guess this is a better way to explain it. If you have Thanisa and you heal Arno, all of the healing, say you healed her for 10,000 just to be easy, 30% of that 10,000 or 1,000 or whatever I just said would then become shield for all the other goblins. So, a lot going on. And then Arno and all allied goblin rangers receive haste for 2 turns. So then we're seeing haste given to Arno, haste given to Sergeant Pigwald, haste given to Major Shot. So we're seeing that synergy once again. So, move kit takeaways. We need health. He's sacrificing health to give shield. A lot of things just involve his health, and you want to have that health ready to go. So the higher health pool you can have, the better. He has a lot of potency tenacity checks, so you're looking for potency. And he just has a lot going on. There's so many caveats, so many things. If this happens, we get this. If he's healing, everybody gets this. If this person's on the battlefield, we get this. There's a lot going on in that move kit. Very complicated move kit when you read it. When you play it, it's not that complicated. But when you read it, you're just like, Arno's a librarian. So when we talk about runes, for me, it's pretty easy. You can go health times 6. You can go health times 4 with an armor and a potency. I mean, you could even go tenacity and armor. But I really find like all health or all health with some armor really helps, because the more his multiplier for health is amazing anyways. So the more health you can put on this guy, the more he's giving back in shield, the more he's sacrificing, the more he's going to recover. The multipliers on his health just make a huge difference in this. And, you know, you can give him more potency, so you can get that heal block or whatever you want. Or you could give him armor, just to make him more survivable. On his rune secondaries, I'm looking for more health. Really anything survivability. I don't really have to keep putting that. Just health, potency, and speed. You do want to add speed onto this tank. Normally I say, you know, you want him on that like 135 range. Not with him. Make him faster. Give him haste. He's giving himself haste. I get it. But you still want to make him faster because the team you're going to put him with is squishy. You want to make sure he gets that taunt up as fast as possible. So you want to give him speed. Back over to the game, and I went with 2 health sets and an armor set. So I am giving himself, off of that wonderful multiplier, I am giving him 10% times 2, and then his armor I'm increasing by 20%, just giving him more survivability. Now remember, the stats that I'm looking at are gear 11 plus, but the runes, we gave him 14,392 more health. Huge. Physical armor, 6.83. Magic armor, 7.08%. Shield, we added 1,817. Not bad. But in the grand scheme of things, I know this is gear 11 plus, but I have his health and shield combination to 92,000. That's huge. Speed, we gave him 51 up to 154. Potency, 20% to 58.79%. So really happy with what we did. I mean, physical damage we brought up, but you're not looking for him to do damage. You're looking for him to be the meat shield. You're looking for him to put up those debuffs, and you're looking for him to give all those buffs to the rangers, etc. So to go over the runes, I kind of went backwards, but I was so excited to tell you that I almost got a guy 100k health and shield combo. Obviously damage, armor, health, and speed. I did go the speed primary here with damage, armor, shield, and shield. Armor, potency, health, shield, and speed. I went health down here, damage, shield, damage, and speed. Health instead of shield here to increase that multiplier even more. Armor, health, speed, crit chance. And then I did go potency here. You could put another health here if you wanted to. But I didn't, because I want those debuffs to have a shot to stick. Health, damage, speed, and armor. Alright, now we're going to talk about artifacts. I actually have 4 artifacts I really, really like for this character. And the first one, number 4 for me, is the Shabby Bayi statuette. Made for Kinley, epic. It gives you accuracy. The only reason I'm saying accuracy, it's actually kind of beneficial. It's not something I'd put in runes or anything like that. But, you know, one of the caveats in his move kit is if this lands, you know, things like that. You don't want that second rocket that could potentially put on the heal block to miss. It's a little bit of accuracy, giving himself more health. And at the end of the turn, he restores 3% of maximum shield. I'll take it. More survivability, make him be that meat shield. Number 3 for me. Lucky Foot, rare, made for Rantha. Giving him damage. Okay, he's going to do damage, that's fine. 9% more health. Huge. Suffering a critical hit has a 15% chance to get a dodge increase for 1 turn. He's going to have his taunt up. Pretty good. 3 times per battle. Dodge increase. Why not? Number 2. Furious Flame Totem, made for Traumgar. It's an epic, giving himself 9 potency, 300 armor. Losing taunt for the first time. Has a 30% chance to get taunt for 2 turns. Once per battle. Not bad. He's a slower tank. A 30% chance to get that taunt back when you lose it for the first time. I'll take it. The potency we need. And armor, just more survivability. Then my number 1. Wish Lantern, made for Kelrin. Rare again. Damage 4%. Okay. Armor 8%. You got really good multipliers already for that. Active taunt decreases damage by 2.4%. Just increasing his overall survivability. Really, really like this one for him because he is going to be the meat shield on a squishy team. So the longer he is alive, the more. So I really, really like the Wish Lantern for Arno. So, Arno. We talked about his stats. Pretty good stats. Talked about his move kit. So what do I think about Arno? He's good. But he has so much going on in his move kit, sometimes it gets convoluted and you don't get the full benefit of everything you want from him. He is not, to me, as effective in a general Murdoch lineup. Can he be used instead of Adam? Yes. Could you put him in there and Sergeant Pigwald at major shot? Yeah, you could. He pairs very, very well with Thanisa because he's sacrificing his health, so you want Thanisa there to put it back. So that's a plus. We're running into, in my opinion, a split, like I talked about, with Thanisa in two separate goblin teams. It's very hard to put a Murdoch team together with everything you want in it if you wanted to include all these characters. Because you can make a Murdoch team with Dr. Frank, Thanisa, Arno. But then who's kind of doing the damage there, right? You put together a major shot team, and my major shot team that I've been running with, which is pretty fun to play if you can get it to work, right? Is the major shot lead, Arno, Sergeant Pigwald, Thanisa, and Amara. But it's a squishy team. They die quick. So it's a lot of fun to play, and his synergies kind of force you to go that way, if that makes sense. You know, you want that ranger synergy. I mean, the accuracy increase, okay. Pigwald can do some crazy damage, but can you keep him alive long enough? Because he has such a low health pool, the AI usually targets Pigwald. Arno is a little bit slower to get his taunt up, right? Sometimes they can have Pigwald dead before Arno can even get his taunt up, so does that synergy really go? When you look at Arno, he brings a lot to the table. He is a rare for me because of what he does to the Goblin faction as far as splitting off two teams. I think, and I just pure speculation here, I have nothing inside or anything like that, Arno might be important for the half-pig henchman because of what he's constantly doing. Maybe they're going to be a ranger, who knows? But the divide there, it's pretty evident. You know, you have your Dr. Frank Heal for your Murdoch team. You have your Thanisa and Amara, Shot, Pigwald, Arno team. I mean, he can be run, like I said, he can be run in a Murdoch team. It's just, it's not as effective, I don't think. Because his basic, you want stuff on basic that'll do something. And his basic just doesn't really have that there. The taunting mechanism is nice, but again, you kind of want Thanisa there to kind of revamp up his health and things like that. So overall, he's a fun character. I'm glad I bought the Battle Pass, like I always do, because you're gonna eventually need him. And like I talked about with the Thanisa video, I'm telling you right now, a Murdoch-led Arno, so you have Murdoch, Arno, Frank, Thanisa, Major Shot. Hard tower team. Wow. You got Shot the Blind. Murdoch's kind of like your damage dealer. Arno's soaking up the damage. Thanisa's calling in assists left and right, healing everybody up. Frank's putting up shock, daze, just calling in more assists. Overhealing on the shield. The team is a survivability train. And that is where he shines. Arno does not make the Goblins a PvP meta team, any comp that I've found. So that's interesting. So that is what I got for everybody today on Arno. I do like him. I think there's more to come with Goblins, possibly with the half-pig henchman. So My thoughts. But if you're just finding me for the first time, you're liking what you're seeing, click that subscribe button, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. And for my XMG family members out there, you know I love you. See you in the next one. I'm out.